So, if you've been around long enough to know about my channel and some things that's happened with me, you will understand my war on this particular topic. And so I generally come on here and I ask the question, if you suffer from any type of mental disability or illness and you are thinking about harming yourself, I've even said things to the effect of, if you are being bullied and thinking about harming yourself, to get help. And so I got an email from someone who told me that I left out a lot of people. And when they said that, it hit me like a ton of bricks, because it is my goal to do my best to help. So today's message is going to have a few more inclusions in it. If you are somebody who is suffering from a mental disability or some type of mental illness, or you're being bullied, or you are experiencing homophobia, racism, prejudice, or any form of hatred that's coming your way, that's got you feeling like the world is heavy on your shoulders, please, before you do anything to yourself, reach out and get help. You do not have to fight this battle alone. You are not alone in your thinking on this. You are not the only one dealing with some stresses of the world. If you are feeling like you're going to harm yourself because you've just come out to your family as being a gay or a lesbian or a member of the LGBTQ community, and you're feeling like there's nothing to live for, you're wrong. Somebody care. I care. The world is not better without you. If you are feeling that way, please contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. The phone number is 1-800-273-8255. Whether you know it or not, this world is better with you in it. Now let's talk some football. What's going on, Pride Nation? Welcome back to another Field Review podcast show. I had to do that little public service announcement because someone's made it a point that I never thought about, and I felt really bad that I never thought about it. And it was an oversight by me, and I'm glad that I was able to fix it, because there is a lot of things going on. I know that this is Pride Month, and I got an email that was eye-opening. And so to have that conversation with that person, opened my eyes. And so I don't want to exclude anyone. So that's just 100% the way it goes. Now, people, I'm finna give you another disclaimer, because I'm probably finna piss off some of these non-real Lions fans. Some of these blue pill taking Lions fans probably finna get upset with me. If you ain't with the smoke today, I understand. Go outside and get you some air. I'm for all the smoke today. You understand? I'm about to question some things that I need to figure out, okay? Because I'm sick of certain narratives that I can't wrap my head around, okay? So, as always, we're going to have fun doing this, all right? I got a lot of things on the docket, starting off with one, Mr. Terry Foster. We got to talk about him and his analysis. That's what I'm going to use, analysis. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm going to call it an analysis. We also got to talk about George Kittle and his analysis. Excuse me. We got to talk about this fan base and their analysis, okay? I'm trying to keep it clean, okay? We have to talk about the Detroit Lions possible trades. We got to talk about some free agency. We got a host things to talk about, including your questions. But before we get into that, let's see who's in the building with us. We got JGB, who's already at the gate saying, drop a like before it even starts. Where my real Field G's at? Yes, sir. It says one pride or don't ride. Kneecap season for sure. We got BD Buster in the building. Chris Watts, Midwest Lion, easy 777. We got Nemesis Breaks. We have AB in the building. Eltonio Jenkins, Jack Frost. Let me make sure I ain't forgetting nobody. Hatter House 710, Rams House, Bulgarius. We got Lions Lee. We got, make sure I ain't missing nobody. Did I miss everybody? Okay, I got everybody covered. All right. Now, if you hear my kids in the back, it's because they're excited. And this is what happened when you give your children high sugar. Do not make this mistake that I made. I did it. and it was actually a freaking fruit. I didn't think it was going to do this, but it did. Now, people, where do I want to start this off at? Okay, let me gather my thoughts on this because I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this the wrong way. I know how I'm gonna do it. I know where I'm gonna start it off at. What the hell is wrong with you as a fan base? What is wrong with you? Let me just help y'all kind of understand why I'm at this place. I just happen to notice patterns. I notice trends. I notice certain things that happen, and it happens in an unusual way that makes me want to puke. And it makes me question if there is something wrong with you as a fan base. It has to be. That's the only way this is going to make sense. Why do you I'm not going to do it. Okay, I'm going to bring it back a little bit. Why is it that this fan base, this particular fan base, have no problem subscribing to all this weird, strange rhetoric that's put out there by any form of media outside of YouTube? But the moment somebody comes with an objective perspective, you can't buy in. What is wrong with you? Now, y'all may be saying, Luke, what are you talking about? I am talking about the fan base who seem to enjoy subscribing to commonly said things. Like, for example, Luke, we're not going to be good for at least 2 or 3 years. Why? Somebody in the damn chat who believes that, give me an objective reason why. Tell me why it's going to take 3 years. It's funny that this group of people is talking about 3 years, and it's the same group of people who sat up there and said it takes 3 years to change a damn culture. And I kept saying it don't take 3 years to change a culture, okay? Because it's living proof right now. The culture has already been changed with that man right there on the screen. Didn't take him 3 years. I doubt it took him 3 damn months. What is wrong with you as a fan base? You're so quick to subscribe to things that don't even in line with the reality of your fandom. I don't get it. This is the same fan base who can't find enough energy to muster up to have faith in a new season, but don't have a problem buying the same video game with an updated roster in Madden. That same people. They're the same people who thinks everything takes 3 years. It takes a cornerback 3 years. It takes 3 years to build a culture. It takes 3 years for this team to be good. Why? Why? Somebody explain to me why every goddamn thing with this particular fan base takes 3 years. Why? Why is that? We're talking about doing things in a different light, in a different way. You can physically see differences, yet it's going to take 3 years. Why? Why is it just an automatic assertion that we're going to suck this year? 7 teams have new head coaches. We just going to suck. Every media outlet got us picking first overall when 7 new teams have new coaches, and we the ones that suck. And the only people that's pushing it better than the media is our own damn fan base. Explain to me this 3-year theory. I want to know what's this 3-year theory. What is this? Every damn thing takes 3 years. It's going to take 3 years for that offensive line in jail. Why? It's going to take 3 years for that defensive line in jail. Why? Tell me why. John Kapler, shout out to him, started a YouTube channel. He gave you 25 reasons why the Lions will be better. I'm not going to tell you what the 25 reasons are, but I'm going to advise you to just go and watch the video. Literally type in Jon Kapler, Kapler. Type it in and go and watch the video. Matter of fact, I'm going to post it on my community post. Just stay tuned long enough to see it. Explain to me why every damn thing in Detroit takes 3 years. And it's not just in football. It's in hockey, it's in baseball, and it's in freaking basketball. Everything takes 3 years. Why? Because somebody in the media says so? Really? Because they're so invested in paying attention to what's going on with the Lions. Really? And I'm sitting up here talking to multiple Lions fans, that I'm just meeting across different platforms. And they all are saying the same thing. I talked to a guy the other day at a graduation for my goddaughter who's a Lions season ticket holder. He was more concerned about selling his tickets than the fact that he thought they was going to be good. Because according to him, it's going to take 3 years. Where did this BS come from? Why are you subscribing to this? Why are you buying off into this ridiculousness? I don't understand this. I just want somebody to explain to me why. If DeJuan Davis says, I honestly do believe 2 years, Luke, but I'm using logic. If it's 2 years, just tell me why. Why not this year? The history of the NFL has shown you that it's any given Sunday. We just ignore that and think that it's a movie title. But it really is any given Sunday. We were almost close to beating the Kansas City Chiefs, a game that had the point spread ridiculously against the Lions, and the Lions killed that. People are running around here subscribing to rhetoric that's just not true. And they don't even know why they're subscribing to it. You have Lion fans who are afraid to even just stand up and say it's a new year. I don't care what happened the year before or the years before. It's a new year. You know what I found funny? Homework assignment for people. If you're listening, try this out and think I'm lying. Just try it out. Go and look at the 7 teams who have a new head coach. And yes, I will be discussing that because I have to use that as a topic today. But go and look at the 7 teams who got a new head coach. And I want you just to Google their news. Don't do nothing else. Just Google their news. And I want you to take extra careful to pay attention to their headlines and look at ours. Whatever we believe is already going to happen if the team believes it. Thank God they don't. Thank God nobody is subscribing to this BS and rhetoric that's on the team. If they do, they won't be on the team. But I'm still waiting on the answer to this why. You got fans who literally don't even realize they're talking to me. Tell me how they listen to Lukegsfieldreview review and how they just 100% love what he do and stuff. They like, dude literally had a whole conversation. I'm at a graduation now. Didn't even realize he was talking to me. Told me how, he a little delusional though, because he seen the thing that they're gonna be good this year. And when I asked him, well, why don't you think they are not gonna be good? You know, his response was, because they're the Lions. You're a season ticket holder. Why are you spending your money on the quote unquote liars? The Lions, this team that can't win anything. Help it make sense. Like I've never seen anything like this. If you are a fan of somebody, you never root for them to be bad. Like, I'm a fan of my children. I need for them to be the best at everything. If my son decides to play straws, I want you to be the best straw puller there is. How in the hell do you root for something you love to fail? Help me understand it. Help me put it in perspective. And then you got people like Terry Foster out here calling Lions fans stupid. You wonder why him and Mike Valenti are hot topics on different stuff, because they don't mind saying what you are. They don't mind explaining to you that you failed along the long line of Lions fans. You can't even muster up enough of an argument to just look at the differences in things. All you know is what's the same. What the hell is different? Tell me, what am I missing? I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to understand what am I losing? Lion King said there's just too many moving parts to win to me. Hope I'm wrong. What moving parts? We ain't the only team making moves. 32 teams adjusted their roster. The entire Kansas City Chiefs offensive line is gone, toast. They revamped the whole thing because their quarterback got his ass whooped in the Super Bowl. What is this moving part we talking about? And I'm not coming at you. I'm asking the question of why. I know it's a lot to text. But I'm even willing, if y'all give me the reason, I'll bring back the phone lines. I need to know why. I need to understand this logic of moving parts. Everybody moving parts. The rosters are not even set. I'm trying to figure it out. I get to work. Talking to another Lions fan. I asked him, hey, get this. He started the conversation. Hey, are you a Lions fan? I said, yeah, I am. Oh, what do you think the record's going to be? Between 8 or 10 wins. 8 or 10 wins? We're lucky if we don't go 0-16. The hell? I asked him in the most straight face possible. You joking, right? No, man. We're going to have the first overall pick. You're serious? Yeah, I'm serious, man. I can't make this up. Okay, so I go to him and I say, you think we're going to be worse than the Texans? Yep. Oh, okay. The Jets? Yep. Oh, okay. The Falcons? Yep. The Eagles? Yep. The Jags? Yep. Okay. All right. Is there any team that got a new coach that we're going to be better than? Not from what I can see. And I'm sick of it. Casual fans with no reason to understand what they're talking about. But they have no problem shooting it down. They have no problem passing this trash off to the next fan. And what's even worse is when they pass this trash off, I'm more embarrassed at the fan who accepts it. Why do you keep subscribing to what the media says? The media said, in quote, I wish I could make this up. The media said that they gave an F grade to the Seattle Seahawks when they drafted Russell Wilson and said that he lucky if he get a backup role and that he was drafted too high. The media has literally told me that it was going to be sunny outside one day and it was freaking raining. But we keep subscribing to it. Now, DeJuan Davis is trying to give me some reason, so I'm respecting him. He said, usually when a team is completely rebuilding, new coach, new quarterback, it takes a year for them to gel. Plus, I get the refs to steal a game or two. Okay, let me ask you this. Has the history ever shown you at any point in time where that same thing happened? Because, tell me if I'm right or wrong about this. Didn't the Rams come off a trash season and have a better record? And they had a new head coach. And the refs probably stole some games. The Lions under Jim Caldwell went from 7-9 to 11-5. They did it. Why can't Dan Campbell do it? Now, what's funny is I had to do some research. I had to do some hardcore research. I had to do some digging to get to the bottom of some things. Right? Because I started seeing articles that said things like ranking the Detroit Lions head coach compared to everybody else. I don't get it. So let's get into it. Let's get into what I got to show you. Because all of this is going to lead to some of the other questions that I have. And the reason that they are questions is because I'm trying to wrap my head around the logic. That's what I'm trying to do. So let me get this thing up here. Okay. Let me get this off the screen. We're going to get to the bottom of why we subscribe to certain things. I want y'all to pay close attention. Okay. Because this is the stuff that I'm talking about. This is the stuff that makes me want to puke. Okay. That makes me wonder why. Out of the 7 teams to hire a new head coach, who has the best chance of succeeding? Now, I know some of y'all are going to subscribe to this media stuff because what I'm talking right here is too real. What I'm finna say is going to be too optimistic, and I got to be either on crack, heroin, or some form of Kool-Aid. Maybe it was the hopium, but whatever it was, I want to show you this. The one thing about me is if I'm saying something, I want to support it. Let's just scroll on down, people. This is CBS Sports, and I'm finally going to give them some little respect. But the only reason I'm giving them some respect is because I understand what they're trying to do. They decided to rank the 7 head coaches from best to worst. Now, stay with me. They got Brandon Staley of the Chargers as the number 1, guy in the best situation. He's supposed to be in the best situation of all these guys, okay? Now, stay with me. Stay with me, okay? He's supposed to be in the best situation, and somehow, some way, I got to point this out. Well, let me go back. I want to give y'all something. Here go number 2, Urban Meyer. He's in a better situation than the Detroit Lions head coach. Nick, I'm not even going to play with his name, so I'm not going to botch it. But Nick for the Eagles is supposed to be in a better situation than our head coach. Our guy come in at 4, and behind him is the Falcons head coach and Arthur Smith, and then Robert Saleh at 6, and then the Texans head coach Dave Culley. Stay with me, people. Now, they write this, but mind you, they also wrote that the Lions were going to be the first overall pick. But this is not about that. This is about who has the best chance of succeeding and who is in the best opportunity of all the head coaches. So let's go and take a look. This is a chart that shows every head coach in the NFL. If it is in red, as you see right here, that means that this is their first year, including this right here and this for offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. Now, stay with me. Excuse me. I don't want to mess this up. They had, excuse me. I'm choking up over here because I'm getting irritated. All right. Now, let's go and see who number 1 was. I believe it was the Chargers, right? Let's see what they write about this guy. This is the spot stud, second-year quarterback, front office that has a symbol of abundance of talent under the shadow of the Rams, so the heat doesn't get too hot. They forgot one thing. One of the main people who helped that quarterback have success is now on the Detroit Lions staff, but we're not going to talk about that. Let's switch it on back over here. Let's go down to the Chargers. Where y'all at? I know you somewhere around here. I don't want to pass you up. Here we go. Let's just talk about it. The offensive coordinator is Joe Lombardi. And if you are not familiar with Joe Lombardi, then I don't know how the hell you a Lions fan. But stay with me. Who would you rather have, people? You tell me. Just tell me. Who would you rather have? Joe Lombardi as your offensive coordinator or, I don't know, former head coach Anthony Lynn? I'll wait. Who would you rather have as a defensive coordinator? Aaron Glenn or, Renardo Hill? Now, they both are defensive back coaches, right? But let me just sweeten the pot up for you. And this came courtesy of a subscriber who sent me a beautiful email. He said, there are so many safety nets in the system that protect the Lions. He says, for Dan Campbell, you have an Anthony Lynn to assist. For Aaron Glenn, you got Don Capers. And for Brad Holmes, you got John Dorsey. Now, let's stay with me for a moment. He has another former head coach and a good defensive coordinator assisting him. You know who's behind Renardo Hill? Renardo Hill. Why in the hell is this team ahead of us? Oh, it's the roster. Okay. I'm tripping. My bad. We do got to account for the roster. But guess what I found out when it comes to the NFL? Having a talented roster does not equate to you doing anything. Go ask the Dallas Cowboys. Go ask the Green Bay Packers and all these other teams who had talented rosters. Doesn't equate to anything. Coaching is a common denominator. Now, let me go back to the list because I don't want to miss it now. Don't want to mess up. Urban Meyer, A guy who has been notorious for winning when he can find a way to cheat, aka screw the system. Cool. The Jacksonville Jaguars, the team that had the first overall pick, clearly they have a better cast than us, right? I mean, that's why he's ahead of us, right? Huh. Who would you rather have as offensive coordinator? That guy who was the coordinator in Darrell Bevell or Anthony Lynn? I'll wait. I'll wait. Really? I will wait. Let's talk about the defensive coordinator. What about Joe Cullen? You know, because he got it going. Or would you rather have the guy who has a former defensive coach in his back pocket on the team working with him to create a defense? But don't worry about this. Don't buy into this. Don't you dare. I mean, why would you ever buy into it? Let's go into the next team. Because these are all the people who got better situations. Ah, yes, good old Nick. Sirianni, is that how you say his name? Sirianni from the Eagles? That guy. Let's talk about him for a minute. See, this is where I try my best to just simply figure out what this is. That's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to figure out my best to figure this out. All right? Check this out, y'all. I mean, I want y'all to see this in perspective. If you know what? It's a reason why I say let's talk football in perspective. So let's go and look at it. We got the Eagles. Let me go and find the Eagles. Don't want to overlook them. Make sure I don't overlook them. Where y'all at, Eagles? Where you at? Come on now. Where are you? There you go. There go Nick. So they got former offensive coordinator Shane. I can't pronounce his last name. I'm not going to botch it. I don't care. But they got him, right? And I'm just thinking to myself, okay. This guy was hired by the guy who's our offensive coordinator, who's the head coach. Okay. They got a new DB turned to defensive coordinator as well. And you're going to notice this trend. It's a lot of new defensive coordinators. But of all these people, we got the former head coach, former offensive coordinator who has really had success in this league. But that's none of my business. Why are the Eagles ahead of us? And why are fans eating this up? But then let's go and talk about it. Let's go and talk about it. Arthur Smith. Now, this right here, this is a killer. You cannot. I love me some Arthur Smith. I'm not going to lie. Love what he brings to the table. But let's really talk about it. Who's the offensive coordinator for the Falcons? Oh, it's Arthur Smith. Oh. Huh. Who's the last guy to call his own plays? Cliff Kingsbury. How's that working out? He on a hot seat. You don't say. I be damn. Why aren't y'all subscribing to this? Subscribe to this. We can't even get y'all to subscribe to a YouTube channel, but y'all subscribe to BS Media. This is why I destroy it piece by piece. Stay with me. So we got a guy who's calling his own plays in Arthur Smith, and he goes out and get a defensive coordinator, former defensive coordinator from Tennessee, Dean Pease, right? And you say like, oh, okay, cool. Like, yeah, they can do the same thing that the Titans did, right? Yay, go, woo, right? That's what you're thinking. But you got to think about the staff because now we got to go down to this roster. But just right now, I'm still liking our coaching staff, and I haven't even touched on the damn front office. Let's go and see who passed that one. Robert Saleh. Oh, this one brought up some mojo. Okay, he's on the Jets. Who's starting at rookie quarterback? But don't worry about it. We're gonna get into it, right? So let's talk about Robert. Let's talk about it. Keep in mind what our staff is, but I want to give Robert his respect. So they got pass coordinator from San Francisco, Mike LaFleur. Oh, okay. And he did pretty good. Mm-hmm. But would you rather have that or Anthony Lynn? Would you rather have Jeff Ulbrich, former player, now turned defensive coordinator, or the guy who is former player turned defensive coordinator, who has some help in his back pocket. Who would you rather take? Let's go to the next dude. Yes. The beauty of this one. David. Yes, good old David. Let's talk about David. And I'm not talking about Goliath in this. Let's talk about David. Because, we can't be the number one situation or who had the best chance to succeed. We can't. David, who is your offensive coordinator? Who? The same guy who was the coordinator before? Oh, you cap him. Okay, because that's worked before. Okay, cool. You brought Lovie Smith to be the defensive coordinator. Yeah, I know. He was doing good things over there in Illinois. I know. He's been on the league for a while. You think he could change it? Oh. Okay. This is garbage. This is ridiculous. Dan Campbell is in the best situation. For first reason, there's no high expectations on him. Half of y'all don't even think he gonna freaking do anything. There's nothing on him. Like, I don't even understand this. There's no pressure on him. None. There is nothing about what we're seeing here that should make me feel confident about these other teams. Yet, if you go and check out their media, it looks nothing like the Detroit Lions. You're going to look at their fans, it looks nothing like the Detroit Lions. Now, I already had to put myself in the cantankerous fan pool, right? So I had to go and look at rosters because I already know what people are thinking. They're thinking, who would you rather have, Deshaun Watson or Jared Goff? No. You see, you fail to realize that Deshaun Watson not playing for the Texans. He's more gone than Aaron Rodgers. He's not playing for him. That's why they brought in Tyrod Taylor. So now the real question becomes, who would you rather have, Tyrod Taylor or Jared Goff? And some of y'all are going to argue some silly stuff. Okay? You're talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars who just drafted Trevor Lawrence. And some of y'all are going to say, I'll take Trevor Lawrence, the unknown, unproven product, over Jared Goff. I'll take Gardner Minshew. I'm only looking at the teams who are part of that 7 teams with new head coaches that y'all are so in love with. Well, I'll take Justin Herbert over Jared Goff after 1 year, and everything that was there that made his 1 year successful is gone. Yeah, you take that. You take that as we just get through some of the things. Take that. The Eagles. Oh, I'll take Jalen Hurts over Jared Goff. I wouldn't, and no one should. Like, we doing this though, right? Maybe it'd be better with Joe Flacco or Nick Mullins. Maybe what we doing? You want to take old man Matt Ryan or AJ McCarron? Go ahead. Go on ahead. Where in the hell are we going to start to realize that we have a better opportunity? When? You want to talk about running backs? Oh, you want to see running back rooms? Let's go to running back rooms. We ain't got to do too much. Let's go to running back rooms. Let me make this back big. I don't want nobody to miss any damn thing. Okay, breathe. I like that they brought in Michael Carter. I really do. I like that they did that. But would you rather have Swift and Williams or the Michael Perneri or Tevin Coleman? Like, what's the tandem you want? That's just the Jets. We're not gonna judge it. Maybe Houston got a better running back tandem than us. I mean, they do got Mark Ingram, right? And they do got David Johnson. And they did add Philip Lindsay. You see, I don't want y'all to miss nobody's name, so y'all don't say I'm cheating. And I still think I'll take my running back room over theirs. Because I'm not even going to waste my time showing you their offensive line. For what? It's not even laughable. But okay. Still, the better situation is with the Chargers, right? Because clearly, that's where it's at, right? Austin Eckler, right? Justin Jackson. They brought in Joshua Kelly along. Oh, I forgot Larry Roundtree. Can't forget him. You look at this running back core. Would you rather have the Lions running back core or this one? You want to tell me Austin Eckler gonna kill it? You got a guy. Let me remind you of what the Chargers did. Let me remind you. I don't want you to forget. I know that some people's memories get a little salty. Let's go down to the Chargers. You brought in a guy who thought it was smart to bring in Joe Lombardi, offensive coordinator. You really batting on Eckler this year? You batting on the Chargers for real with Joe Lombardi? Okay. Who else on that list? The Eagles. Oh, yeah. Miles Sanders. Woo. Boston Scott. Yee. Jason Huntley. Ow. Kerryon Johnson. Woohoo. Jordan Howard. Woo. Elijah Holyfield. Whoa. You get my point? I'm only 2 positions in. And yet I still got people subscribing to bull. Let's go down to the Falcons. Mike Davis, boy, he threatened the world. Show me out of the 7 teams, out of the Texans, out of the Jets, out of the Falcons, out of the Chargers. Who am I forgetting? Matter of fact, let me go back and look. I don't want to mess this up. I need for people to understand my logic in this damn rant because this is just ridiculous. Let's look at it. Out of the Eagles, Falcons, Jets, Chargers, Jags, and Texans, who running back room you taking over ours? I wait. Please, somebody help me. Who? You got people hyping up the goddamn Chargers who got Joe Lombardi as offensive coordinator. You couldn't even stay latched on to the Saints. This is ridiculous. But yet we subscribing to this stuff. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna help you unsubscribe from stupid. I don't want you subscribing to dumb people who say dumb things. I want you to subscribe to smart people. We're gonna get you through this, whether you know it or not. We're gonna get you through it. Obviously, if you go and look at Jacksonville's running back room, some people like James Robinson. I see no difference between James Robinson and Jamal Williams. Travis Etienne, from what I'm hearing, supposed to be playing receiver. But look at this. Who you taking? You want to tell me that everybody got a better receiving core? I'll concede that to you. Don't even care. I'll concede it to you. See, I don't have a problem conceding to you because I can look at who they hired. Look at this. Urban Meyer, you feel look at this. Former Lion. You feel confident in that? You feel confident in that? This guy come in as a pass game coordinator and cap their offensive coordinator when the quarterback is out the door. Why? But we got faith in them. We got so much faith in them. This guy made the same mistake. Cap Kellen Moore. I mean, help me make it make sense. And yet we're subscribed to that. We're buying into that rhetoric. It says Herbert might not look like the same with Lombardi. He's only had one good season. May not. And that one good season came under the guy who's now the offensive coordinator for the Lions. It's one product, don't ride. You not on the wagon now, don't be on later when kneecaps will not be accepted. I'm telling you. Nobody can understand why this doesn't make sense. And it doesn't line up with the logic of it. It just don't. Now, let me just switch gears a little bit because, like I said, I want y'all to pay attention to the realities that we deal with. Because I had this one come from a member too, that we were going to regret not landing Robert Saleh. And they got me to thinking, like, were we going to regret this? Is this a move that we really should have went after? And the more I think about it, we got the right guy. And I'm going to tell you why. We have tried bringing in the hometown guy before, right? We've tried it. Michigan tried it with Jim Harbaugh. Y'all ain't got nothing on return yet. Took an L to the damn Michigan State football team with no offseason and a brand new head coach. Y'all got nothing on return yet. Nothing. And when he said this to me, I said, why are we going to regret this? I can look at my coaching staff and see what we got compared to what he got, and I feel good. I feel real good. Why would I regret this? Is there anybody in the chat who's listening or anybody who's going to come and listen to this video later who really believes that we just missed out on Robert Saleh? As if though he didn't choose something different. The NFL is a good old boys thing because they are a lot of guys who don't deserve jobs like Matt Patricia. Facts. Juwan Howard, though. Okay, you can talk that basketball stuff. I'm talking football. The ultimate team sport. I'm just saying. To sit there and tell me we're going to regret not getting him. Why? And I keep showing proof. Why? I could be wrong. But this is where he assembled. Look at it. Where he at? Look where he at right here. This is his damn coaching staff. Everybody's just young. First year, everything. Why they got... And they picked what? Second overall? Am I right? Did they pick second overall and took Zach Wilson? So rookie head coach with rookie offensive coordinator, rookie defensive coordinator, rookie quarterback, and they're going to be better than us? Okay. See, this is where it gets a little strange for people. I told you if you're not here for the smoke, you might want to get out. Because I got to get the answer to the why. Why it's going to take 3 years? Why is everything 3 years with this damn fan base? Hey, I need to get my hair cut tomorrow. It's going to take 3 years. I need to get some groceries. It's going to take 3 years for you to get them groceries. Like, everything is 3 years. Why? And I got fans telling me we're going to regret it. Why? Why? Tell me why. Let me read something to you. I'm going to tell you why we're not going to regret it. And that's going to push me to my next topic. Because as I do this, I want y'all to use your thinking caps. Your thinking caps. Put it on. Okay? And think. Okay? Here's why the Lions will be bigger. I meant to say big, but here's why the Lions will be big players in free agency this year and next year. I'm going to tell you why. Stay with me. It's another reason why I know that we didn't get our coaching pick wrong. I know we didn't. But here's why. George Kittle. You know that guy on the 49ers team that everybody loves? That guy, that tight end? Because you know, that's the guy, right? He says, not me, he says he loves Dan Campbell's hidden message to the Lions and players in free agency. He loves it. The hidden message. Remember I told y'all a while back after that press conference that was like that scream that went out from the Zack Snyder movie when Superman was hurt and everybody came out like, oh, he down? That's what that was. It was a call. Stay with me. He says, I think he said, this is George Kittle. He says, I think he had his Saints gear on and he would just sit there and stare at you. He was like a disappointed father. It's kind of what I felt like. Now, this is what Kittle said. He asked me a question at the very beginning of the practice. And then right after the practice ended, after we did all this hard work, I got up and he was like, what was the first question I asked you? And I was like, I don't know, dude. I just answered a bunch of questions. Like, I'm good. See you. I had no idea that was the only interaction with him. Now, I want you to understand something. I want you to see somebody with a head coach's mind and work here. He asked this man a question at practice. A practice that was joint. He asked him a question and wanted to see if he remembered the question that he asked. He needed to know this information because he's building profiles for people. Okay? Now stay with me. George is just basically like, whatever, who cares? Now fast forward 4 years, right? Because this is what they say. We got to fast forward 4 years. We know what the press conference said. And here's exactly what George Kittle said. And I quote, Campbell lit up the NFL and fired up Detroit with promises of gnawing off kneecaps. And it made me think that it made me think that, wow, this guy is going to get the most out of players. And I loved it. It says, obviously I'm going to bite into kneecaps. That's awesome. I love that. You're going to play some violent football and have some dirty football, and I'm here for it, says George Kittle. But Kittle said there was something hidden in the Campbell's words that didn't get as much press as it deserved. Something that would draw the best out of his players, something that Campbell predecessors completely overlooked. He says there was a part where he talked about having good vibes in the locker room because, it takes 3 years. Y'all remember y'all benchmark. 3 years it takes. 3 freaking years it takes to get a culture change. Remember this. He says there was a part where he talked about having good vibes in the locker room, and he was like, look, I love football, and I'm going to get after it, but I want to have a good culture. I want to take care of the guys. I want to respect. Speaking of which, let me sidebar for a second. Did y'all hear what he did? He created a whole new damn department in the Lions to take care of it. I'm going to leave it alone. We're going to get back to the story. See, some of y'all not willing to pick up the pieces that I leave behind because y'all feel like they breadcrumbs, but them breadcrumbs for you to pick up and run with. Go and spread this good news the same way you spread that negative, false, lazy journalism work that the media puts out there that you just drive to the next fan and then or you accept it. But let's stay with it. It says I want to respect the guys and I want them to have fun going to work, Kittle said. And I was like, see, work as hard as you want, but if you're having fun doing it too, that's what makes it okay to do that stuff. As long as you don't have the mindset that we're going to suffer every single day, let's have some fun a little bit. I love that stuff. So I like it a lot when I found that clip, and I wish that one circulated a little bit more because I thought that was pretty cool. He's going to win a lot of battles in the free agency and with his own guys. Now, let me go back to this question right here. Why the Lions will be big players in free agency this year and next year? It's because when you got people under contract on a totally different team who is understanding what that call is, then that tells me that other players seen it too. That tells me that the door has been open for other people to recognize that there is something different going on here. This ain't your same old Lions fans. They're different. And yes, some of y'all may not buy into the hype of it all, but the reality is this. This man has no business to hear that call. Somehow he heard it. Imagine who else heard the call. You hear people like Jamal Williams say, I came here because I like what coach was talking about. Oh, you do? Huh. Dean Marlowe and a host of other players who came here said they heard what the coach said. And it's not just them. I did some more research. There were people in our own division who was like, yo, I like what they talking about over there. But don't get me wrong. We're going to regret not getting Robert Saleh. Remember that statement? A fan asked me that. Or not even asked, he just told me. We're going to regret it. Now, stay with me. Stay with me. Because sometimes when you take the horse to the water, it's either one or two things that's going to happen. One, you can't make them drink. Or two, somebody done led them to a dry well. And the one thing I don't want to do is lead you to a dry well. See, the dry well don't do nothing for you. I'm trying to be nourishment for your soul. I'm trying to get you to look at things in a perspective. I left certain things on the screen strategically for you to read it for a reason. And that's because I want you to think long and hard about this. When you have players on other teams who are coming up on contract deals, you have players on the team who are talking to some of those players because they're friends. What do you think happens when the Lions now come into next year with all this cap space? They're big players. And guess what happens? We don't have to worry about the same old Lion mantra. No, absolutely not. What we need to do is ask ourselves, what has the word on the streets been? Because one of the reasons why Richard Sherman didn't come here was because what his friend told him and what he saw with his own two eyes from multiple people. Now imagine what they're going to say when now he got a whole new damn department that's dedicated to treating them like royalty. They get ready to win free agent battles that we never won before. And it all started with that guy who changed the culture in 3 years. Remember that number. Takes time to jail. I get it. But why are they going to be big in this year's free agency? Because there are still free agents that have yet to hit the market. Nobody has cut their roster down to 53. The Lions know this, and that's why they're not panicked. That's why they're not looking to do too much movement when they know that there's a host of people that they love that's going to hit the market. And if George Kittle, your favorite tight end, heard the call, who else did? How hard is it going to be to win that battle? How hard? It's not going to be hard at all. Benjamin Foe says, damn, Luke, give the Pistons one day to shine. Well, I'm going to give them there one day to shine because guess what? Woodward Sports, shout out to them, and Detroit Drew, shout out to him, are going to be doing a whole lottery show tonight, and you don't want to miss it. I give everybody they shine. Bill Hawkins says you are thinking too deep for some Lions fans. Some can't go that deep. I don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll go down there with them and bring them back to the top. They just need a new breath of fresh air. They too busy subscribing to what the Bleacher Report is talking about. Too busy subscribing to what Pro Football Focus is talking about. Too busy subscribing to what ESPN is talking about. They're not listening and looking at it from a different perspective. They really believe that we probably got one of the lesser coaches and it's going to take time to build. But nobody else is saying that in their media. Nobody. You're going to look at our coaching staff and our front office compared to all those other 6 teams who got new coaches and tell me why the hell we fourth or not in the top. Oh, you want to tell me it's talent? I gave you the first few plays. I could have gave you more. I'll leave it up to you to do the research. I'm trying to get you to see something differently in a perspective that helps you be a real fan. No fan goes into it and roots for their team to lose. I was a huge freaking fan of the Ultimate Warrior. I will never be like, yeah, I want to see him get suplexed. Never. I was a huge Isaiah Thomas fan. Never want to see him take an L. Never rooted for a tank job or nothing. Never. Coming out of college, I was a huge Carmelo Anthony fan. You didn't hear me telling my team to tank to get him. Nope. Just saying. And why are they going to be so big? Because you have veterans and people still under contract spreading the good news. That's why. The friends ain't even got to spread the word. Word of mouth is the best advertisement there ever will be. You don't even got to worry about it. They have already figured it out for you. It don't make sense to me. Yet we subscribe to them on a daily. Let me switch gears a little bit. I'm trying to keep this clean, keep this thing moving. There's been a lot of talk about trades, and I find it ridiculous. I find it ridiculous because the question was asked about should people trade for certain receivers. So I took that question and I switched it a little bit. Should they trade for a receiver before the start of the regular season? And the answer to me is very simple. No. No, you should not trade for any receiver before the season starts. I would even go as far as to say you probably don't need to trade for a receiver at all unless you are already at a perennial point and you're just missing one piece. But we know that's not where the Lions is at. They're building it as a team, not around just the individual, right? We've moved away from that. But the real reasons why you don't do this is because, again, all the teams have not cut their roster down to 53. They just haven't. And when you haven't even cut your roster down to 53, you have options. Hell, you can go out and sign somebody right now, dirt cheap. Yes, he's hurt, but he still can be dirt cheap and give you opportunity to see what he got because nobody's going to touch him, and you can still add him to the practice squad. And if he heals up, now he's indebted to you, and we back to square one, and you can get more out of him. Now, y'all may be saying, Luke, who in the hell are you talking about? So let's get on down here so I can show you. Let's get on down here so I can show you. You see this name right here? Emmanuel Hall. You see that? This guy right here. This guy that came out of Missouri. This guy that basically got Drew Lock paid and drafted. That guy. They got him at 6'2". Some people got him at 6'3". I don't really care. I know you're over 6'1". That's all I need to know. The guy that y'all love 40 times, right? You got the 4.39. Y'all love this stuff. And why was he released? He got picked up as an undrafted free agent by the Bears, and then the Bears was like, nope. Okay, cool. Rarely even just looked at him. Just let him go. He swiftly got picked up by the Washington football team. Tore his Achilles. That's very big. 4'3", torn Achilles, could be a 4'5". Who cares? He can still run routes and could probably be a slot receiver. But stay with me. Why am I talking about this guy? Because a lot of y'all was in love with Kenny Galladay. Y'all love the jump balls of Calvin Johnson. And you know what made him special and why Drew Lock got paid? It's because he won all of his damn jump balls. And he did it with speed. And let's say you get him on your team and he's scot-free, cheap. You gave $1.75 million to a linebacker. You can give him a couple $100,000 and let him sit. He'd be happy. If he heal up and it's good to go by, I don't know, week 10, maybe he's not good to go till next year. You still got him at dirt cheap. With something to prove, to follow the same mantra. You can go and sign him in free agency right now. Don't cost you nothing. You can go and bring back Golden Tate. Don't cost you nothing. And yes, I know he picked 3 teams not named Detroit. One of them he picked was because Matthew Stafford is there. The other one he picked is because he liked what they're doing with the run game in the Tennessee Titans. And the other one he picked is because he understands that the head coach and Frank Wright and the coach ain't stupid. But you ain't got to spend no money on that. What if we just happen to need a legitimate veteran receiver? You can go get Elshon Jeffries. You can go and add him. Yeah, he's 31, but you gave more money to Danny Amendola to catch how many passes? I'm just trying to figure this out. The Lions don't need to trade for a receiver, people. Stop thinking that we got to do this. This makes no sense. We don't have to trade for a receiver. Whatever receiver we want is going to be there for us. They got to cut the roster down. That's first. 2, we got veterans who heard the call on different teams with contracts. I'm pretty sure everyone else heard the call too. I'm just saying. We don't need to make these moves. We're making things too complicated as a fan base, and we're asking for the team to do things that we really shouldn't be asking them to do. We just shouldn't. We don't have a reason to trade for a receiver. We don't. We're trying to build a team, not a super squad that don't pan out. You want to tell me talent wins game? You remember when the Rams sold out? They sold out to get somewhere, and it didn't work. They made it to the Super Bowl one year, But that wasn't even the full sellout year. You have to be able to see that you don't need to go out and keep making the same mistakes over. Let me bring you to another point. I saw an excellent video. I got to post that on my community post too. Excuse me. I got to post that on my community post too, where a guy literally broke down having a superstar will result in you losing. Let me rephrase it. Having a superstar receiver will result in you losing more games than you win. Did a brilliant job breaking this down. Brilliant. Literally talked about how all these teams who had superstar receivers barely even scratched the surface of a playoff or even won a Super Bowl. People not paying attention. People not listening. Subscribing to dumb stuff. That's another good point. You can sign Larry Fitzgerald. You just need this veteran. You put Larry Fitzgerald in the slot. Put Quintez Cephas in the slot with him. Throw a mile ride on the outside with Tyrell Williams. I mean, you got things you can work with. The one thing you don't got to do is trade no draft capital, which brings me to my next point. Receivers come a dime a dozen. You got enough draft capital next year to still draft a legitimate receiver if you haven't already added one in Surratt. Seriously. Just think about it. Look, get outside of the emotion and just think about it. I respect what Steve-O said right here. Who's to say one of the Lions receivers don't step up and become a legitimate number one? Wouldn't be the first time it's happened. Here's looking at you, Antonio Brown. So many people I can name who did just that. We don't want to talk about that, huh? We don't want to bring that up. I got people talking about we got to trade for a receiver. We don't have enough talent to win. Really? Because talent wins in this league. Go talk to the Dallas Cowboys. Like, seriously. Even when the Kansas City Chiefs won, they weren't the most talented team. It just wasn't. Go and look at their first Super Bowl and show me that they were the most talented team in the league that year. You cannot convince me. I've looked at the rosters already. You can't convince me. D-Town says, Luke, too many people are sleeping on Amon-Ra St. Brown and Quintez Cephas and Tyrell Williams and the rest. Yeah, they can sleep on it. They'll wake up soon enough. I remember when the Lions took Kenny Galladay, and Lion fans was like, man, we could have had this person. And I was like, oh, okay. And then Kenny Galladay just, performed. And then all of a sudden, everybody became Kenny Galladay fans. I'm trying to help y'all understand something. When I leave things on the screen, it's for a reason. We are coming up into a point where I can't get a fan base to subscribe to looking at football objectively and putting that into perspective. But I can post a 14 to 20-second video of the same game with an updated roster and everybody goes nuts. Can't get people to buy into their own hope and faith. But the moment they see another team make a move, it's the greatest move ever. And we should have did this and we should have did that. Tokyo says talent matters in sports. Most champions teams got stars on their rosters. We're talking football. You want to put it to all sports? Fine, put it to all sports. I'm cool with that. Talking about the ultimate team sport. Show me where the most talented team year in and year out won the Super Bowl. Show me. You gonna tell me all those Super Bowls New England won? They was the most talented team. Okay. I'm not talking all sports. I'm talking football. I've seen, even in basketball, I've seen some super teams not win. Coaching comes into play. A lot of things come into play. Let's keep it honest. Anybody remember Jermaine Corral? I do. He became the Lions' #1 receiver after they got rid of Herman Moore. No one thought he was going to be that before the season. You ain't got to preach to me, Steve-O. I just simply go to church, and when the preacher preaches, I shut the hell up and I listen. I know what you're talking about. But we can't win because we don't have no talent. We can't have faith because we ain't the Jets, or we ain't none of these other teams that they want to hype up for no reason. We're going to be picking first overall. Let me remind you of something. I know some of y'all got short memories. I don't want you to miss it. Look at these coaching staffs. If it's in red, they're all new. You see the 0? They have no experience. Which coaching staff would you rather have? What the Lions have or what the Eagles got? What the Lions have or what the Jets got? Which coaching staff? You want what the Chargers have? You want to bring Joe Lombardi back as the offensive coordinator? Another thing I noticed about this whole entire group of all these new people, who on this damn team can go from here and be a head coach after a year or two? None. Maybe Lovie Smith, but I think he got a bad rap at this point. So none. Now look at the Lions. Anthony Lynn can be a head coach. We got people on this thing that can be head coaches at the moment's notice. I know y'all got short memories. I'm gonna help y'all out. Don't worry about it. It's on the screen for a reason. Let me read to y'all what a subscriber said. I'm not gonna tell you what his name is because I didn't, I didn't want to, he just says, "What's good, Luke? The Lions draft video that dropped was some next level stuff. Thank you for pushing for that." Yep, I sure did push for that. Every chance I got, I'm sending messages like, "Can we do what the Cardinals is doing?" Because that was lit to see them have the whole interview with Isaiah Simmons and then afterwards be like, "Oh yeah, we're drafting that guy." I wanted that experience to see what was happening in the room. He goes on to say, like I said before, I'm a certain age. I have never seen anything like this from the Detroit Lions. This is being built with Sheila Ford Hamp's vision. Now, this is the part that I love because this is somebody who's paying attention. This is being built by the owner's vision. You know that owner when I was all hype about it and everybody kept telling me it's still a Ford, that owner, the one that had the gall in the biggest game of the Lions season that year at Thanksgiving to put her face in her palms and let the world know that this is some disgusting BS that she can't allow, and then she allowed him to enjoy his weekend to swiftly fire him on Monday. That bad motherfucker right there, that's who vision we talking about. He said it's a collaborative, inclusive, diverse, hardworking team with one goal in mind. Our great country should pay attention to this blueprint because that is what we need as well. He says, I honestly think Dan Campbell crafted the staff with the thought of making a head coaching tree feeder program. Now, let me just tell you something. He putting out perspective on top of concepts that is hard for you to ignore. I never once thought about that. Never once thought that he's trying to create his own coaching tree. That is crazy. To think that he would be that far down the pipeline. And it makes sense. It's one of the reasons why I'm questioning why all these other teams are ahead of us, but our coaching staff have people who can go on and be other things. But this particular subscriber is on that red pill he must have took 4 doses before he came up with this one. Let me just keep reading. It says he has been groomed by one of the best, Sean Payton. Don't forget, Bill Parcells is part of that influence too, a guy who does the same thing. And his goal is to get Aaron Glenn, Pleasant, and Deuce prepared for head coaching duties in the future. Win in Detroit, and you will definitely be attractive to teams that are looking. I didn't even get this far in the damn pipeline, but this is brilliant. This is brilliant. How else can you sell these coaches on coming here other than we win here and you can name your job? The salesman in him. Let me keep going. This is some beautiful stuff. I gotta post this on my community post. That's how good this is. That's how good this is. He goes on to say he is hoping to do for Deuce Staley what Sean Payton did for him, and I love it. The culture is one that will breed success. You know that thing that takes 3 years? We can't forget that. 3 years to change the culture. The players are feeding off of it. What? You mean to tell me when you don't got no douchebag coming in calling you out your name, you can actually like what you do? Shocking. They are enjoying the newfound ability to let their personality shine. This is a game, and yes, you should work hard, but you should have fun doing it. Now, let's go back to the statements that was made by George Kittle. He said the same thing. Can y'all hear me now?